Yeah, you're right. Welcome back to M Hood Discovered. I'm just chilling in the house tonight. It was a fairly warm, but not super hot, but extremely humid day with a bit of butter. I got a bit of butter today, but anyway, a bit of thunder. Yeah, and rain. And now it's supposed to drop into the 70s tonight, but it's in the mid 80s and very humid, especially in here. There's absolutely no wind, so there's no cross breeze, but it smells good. You know why? Okay, so as the title goes, you might be thinking that I'm saying you should not buy any essential oil from Amazon. Maybe you can prove me wrong. Maybe there's a good product. Maybe some of the ones I'm going to show you are on Amazon. But I'm going to make a case for why you're going to find better essential oil in real life in a brick and mortar store, or some homeboy, some hippie, some lady who's making it in the house back on a farm or something. And I'm going to tell you why I think this, and it's based on my experiences. So over the past few years, like maybe 2 years or so, I've been buying essential oils off of Amazon because the price was so good, like really reasonable, low price. But I found with everything I tried, and I tried quite a few different ones, yes, the price was low. Yes, the amount was generous, but the potency was also super low. So super low price, super low potency. If you're buying the essential oil for scent, like I particularly usually buy patchouli, right? I buy other ones. We're going to show you other essential oils that I purchased today. This is like my hippy dippy flex of the week, by the way. But it's not just all a frivolous purchase. These are very important, essential items to me and people like myself. So the patchoulis that I have bought off of Amazon had one thing in common besides the criticism, right? They had other things in common, but we're just going to go with this baseline. They're not from America. They're from other countries, right? And they would come in a good sized bottle like this, right? And you put it on, about an hour, 2 hours later, nobody can smell it, and you put a lot on. You find with this stuff right here that it takes quite a bit to stink someone out, to be like, oh my goodness, are you trying to get laid or something? And no. The reason why a lot of hippy dippy people like to wear patchouli isn't because they all want to smell the same. It's one of the essential oils that is fairly decent for keeping away bugs. Is it 100% productive? No. But it is a remedy. It is something you can do to keep bugs away from you. You know, maybe with some hippies, they're hoping it keeps head lice. Because you know, that's like, if you have dreads, it's the worst thing, right? You know, you get head lice, your dreads are done unless, you know, one of the things hippies used to do back in the day, if head lice got into their dreads, they would soak their dreads in kerosene with a plastic bag over, and they'd be walking around all day like you know, because the fumes get you. So you want to get the dreads bundled up, soak them in kerosene, bundle them up, put a garbage bag around your head, and give it a few hours, right? Oh my goodness, is that extreme? That is extreme. But I've heard that it works. I've been around friends who were doing it, and I'm just like shaking my head, you know? Yeah. But when your hair is dreading, head lice is a scary idea, right? It's the fear. So yeah, and my other problem with the cheaper ones is they seem to have alcohol in them because they're very thin as an oil and they sting a lot more than usual, right? So here's a brand that I got off of Amazon for a good price, right? You see that right there? Sneaking a drink. So I get essential oils for different reasons. I like the patchouli because it smells good, and it does a fairly decent job at keeping mosquitoes and other things away when I'm out on the water fishing. And it keeps fleas away, right? It's not the most productive essential oil for fleas, but it does. I'll put it on my dogs a little bit, right? I also happen to really like the way it smells. A lot. I like it a lot, right? I'll be burning this patchouli incense as well sometimes, but I particularly like the essential oil, but not if it's weak as all, right? So I also use essential oils for my dogs, right? To keep the fleas away, plus flea medicine. It's not just all natural remedies, but I do like herbal remedies. I am really into herbal remedies, if you catch my drift. Stuff like ginger. Did you think I was going to talk about something else? You'd be right. That one too, but garlic, ginger, basil, you know. Talking about food now, I must be hungry. So I also like essential oils to affect my mood. If I want to calm down, aromatherapy, if you will. Well, that's definitely what it is. Let's be clear about it. Yeah, aromatherapy, preventativeness, and just smelling good, right? The reason why I like it, other than something like DEET, well, DEET is very, very toxic and usually makes me feel horrible. If I put it on, it keeps the mosquitoes away, but my body absorbs it, gives me a headache, it clogs my pores. My dyslexia is kicking in. It clogs my pores, and I get extremely hot all of a sudden, and it's just horrible because I can't really sweat as much because my pores are clogged, and I get no relief. So I absolutely hate it. I do not like it. I'm not a person that attracts mosquitoes. They don't bother me as much. In my DNA, part of my traits, right? I'm not perceptible. I'm not a magnet for mosquitoes. I've been that way my whole life. They still bite me and bother me, but you know, I'll be getting a couple of bites over here, and my buddy next to me is Morris dancing, freaking out, and I'm just like, what are you doing? The mosquitoes, aren't they bothering you? They're kind of tickling me, but I'm okay. I mean, maybe we should go because, yeah. You're Morris dancing and it's horrible. I don't know how you feel about Morris dancing, but when there's no beat and someone's just like awkwardly Morris dancing, it's just kind of, it looks mental. Anyway, let's look at what I got for the dogs and myself. I finally figured out what that cast iron, wrought iron thing obviously is for. I kind of thought this is what it was for. Hot pots, and then you can hang it on the wall. Anyway, all three of these are by the same brand. Young Living. This is produced in Utah, so it's not produced locally, but it is produced in the States. And I bought it locally. I bought this from my local pharmacy. It's in a case. You have to ask the lady for the key, and she comes over with you. It's an experience. This nice lady standing there talking to you about essential oils, because you know they're not cheap. They're a lot cheaper on Amazon, but they suck. Ones you're gonna buy locally might cost more. But with what I've found after I tested these out today is the potency is so high. These are so strong. So I showed you the tea tree oil. A couple of drops. 3 hours ago I put some on. Wow. And I put it on in the bedroom, right? But I kind of overdid it. I didn't overdo it with each one, but I tried each one. Here's the patchouli. Same brand. Made in Utah again. Again, a couple of drops. Very, very strong. Still smell it. The little bottle, that's lavender. Again, very potent, very strong, high percentages there. Because 3 hours ago I put this on and I just went to the store and the girl in the store could smell it. Now, after using this for a while, let me see if I can show the brand. You see that? That's from Amazon. I think that's made in Indonesia, somewhere like that, somewhere in Asia, right? That doesn't last even an hour to 2 hours, and you put a lot on. You smell it right as you put it on, but it doesn't last. And if you get it on like any of your sensitive parts, your face, like around your eyes, your armpits, or anywhere pretty sensitive, it's gonna burn. Just like you were cutting peppers and you started rubbing your eyes. It's gonna burn like hell. And I've experienced that before, but not quite as, this burns a lot. So the scent doesn't last long, but the burn is intense on that. It seems like a good deal at first because it is so much cheaper than this right here, okay? These bigger bottles were not cheap. This would be like 20, anywhere from 18 to 20 something. This is 30 something, right? Oh no, this one is a little more than 30. This is like 40. And this was like the low 30s. This was $15.99. High prices, I know. But it's gonna last longer because it's more potent. It's stronger. You know, you get fooled sometimes. If you look online, you might see bottles. This one's really potent, small, but then you're going to see this for a cheaper price than this on Amazon, because you might be able to find this on Amazon for sure. But on Amazon, they're going to put stuff in your face that's going to hoodwink you, right? And my last name is Hood, and I'm not trying to hoodwink you to make you pay more. I'm trying to help you see sense here. This is not strong. It's cheaper and higher by volume, but it's really weak, and you can't trust what exactly is in it because it's produced in a place that doesn't have the same standards as here. Not always is that the case. Sometimes you can find stuff produced in Asia and other countries that is at the same high standards, especially if it's coming from Japan. They have really high standards, but standards are all over the place in other countries, right? Especially China. There are good things made in China, and then there are bad things made in China. But you can get hoodwinked by like, oh, I'm going to save some money if I get this one. But you're also going to be very disappointed as well. So these are extremely strong. A couple of drops, that's it, right? Okay, so these are sold with the beaker, right? These are not. I'll open the tea tree oil. This one I got for the dogs. I'll get a washcloth, get some warm to almost hot water on it, right? Then I'll put a bunch on there and get it all mixed into the washcloth, and then I'll massage like my short-haired dog, my coonhound. This is a good method for ragging down a coonhound. An oily rag, not super oily, because if you use too much of this, you're gonna clog her pores and she's gonna get super freaking hot. And it is the dog days of summer, and she is a dog covered in hair. So don't do that. Use a little bit, just a little bit, and it'll get the dirt off her, and it'll leave that essential oil, that tea tree oil on there. And you see it comes with that plastic cap. It's got a hole in the center. It makes it super easy just to dab a drop or so You see I just dabbed a bit right there on my palm, the palm of my hand. Very strong. So I did this in the bedroom. Just a dab on my hand, put it around, smelt it for a while, wash my hand, put another dab on from another bottle, put it somewhere else on my body, smelt it for a while, and then I did with the final one. So I have all three on. I did it in the bedroom. Every time I walk in my bedroom right now, it smells wonderful. This stuff is super pleasing. I am so great that I finally bought the bullet and I got these. I love putting essential oils on my dogs along with the flea meds, because down here with the flea thing, here, Tulse, you want to put this on your head? There we go. Sorry I disappeared for a second. I wanted to put that on the dog, not more on me, but it is on my hands. Tea tree oil is so, the smell is so good. So the flea thing down here, and then I'm gonna get out of here. The flea thing compared to the flea thing up north. The flea thing down here is, they're sand fleas. It's a different kind of flea, right? And they have like the ability to evolve. So you'll have these like new flea meds come out once in a while that you can only get through a prescription, and they're going to cost a lot, well over $100 or more. Maybe you get 3 months worth, right? You either get one prescription for both dogs, or you get separate prescriptions for separate dogs, right? So that's well over a couple $100 right there. And they're going to work, but a year later they're going to work less. Another year they're going to work even less. All your flea meds down here that you can get over the counter without a prescription don't work as well. Some of them just don't work at all. You can put like something from Walmart on a dog and he's still going to scratch. If the dog is allergic to fleas, those over-the-counter flea meds are going to be ineffective. They're not going to work. However, if you can only afford over-the-counter flea meds, maybe the worst ones or the better ones, even some of the ones you get prescribed to you that don't work as good anymore, if you're doing other things on top of that, and you got to remember, these are not toxic things. Putting essential oil on the dog is not as toxic as topical drops or tabs they eat or pills they swallow, right? Not as toxic as that, but somewhat effective. It adds to the effectiveness, right? So you get your over-the-counter stuff, and you're doing things like some tea tree oil on a warm hot cloth or something, massage over the dog, or, you know, maybe once a week, twice a month. I don't know, I do it about once to twice a month, depending on how, you know, what the need is. And other things like keeping the house clean, vacuuming, spraying the yard, you know, treating the yard, maybe Ignatius, or what do you call that? Oh, I got a bag of it somewhere. Ignatius Earth or Tenacious Earth, Tenacious D. Dyslexia is kicking my butt, and now I'm missing words. I know who Tenacious does. Yeah, Jack Black when he's on crack, right? With the guitar and the other fat guy. So Tenacious D. That's Tenacious D. Tenacious Earth, or anyway, it's like, looks like powder, but when bugs eat it, it's like eating shards of glass, and it gets them from the inside out, right? Brutal. But yeah, you can do all kinds of things. It's just brutal. So compared to up north, go up north and everything, just about everything works, because it's so damn cold in winter, especially if you go up super far north. A lot of those things seriously die back in winter. Why are they so hardcore here? Well, it's a different kind of flea, and nothing really dies back that much in winter, because this is southeast Louisiana. 8 to 9 inches of snow is chaos for people down here, because it's rarely seen. it just doesn't, we don't get that much of a hard freeze. We get a freeze here and there, but it's not enough to really knock us back to zero, to like a good place. That's why it's so hard to grow a lot of vegetables here, especially tomatoes. It's so hot and humid for so much of the year. We have a large amount of bug and disease problems with gardening, and that goes into the dog and cat realm with fleas and other things like heartworm and stuff. Brutal. It's absolutely brutal. So I could go up north with these dogs and spend less to keep them flea free, because so much more works up there, because it's cold as hell, right? Woo! That was a rant and a half. Yeah, you're right. It's something to think about. If you really like essential oils and you're tired of getting hoodwinked on Amazon, try getting them local. This pharmacy was in a grocery store. It was pricey, but I would say worth it, right? Because I didn't have to like go on Amazon and wait. I just walked over there, had a nice conversation face to face with the human, and I did a hippy dippy flex of the week, and I smell good, and my dogs are feeling good, and it's all good. Yeah, you're right. Thanks for watching. I will see you next time.